Welcome back to North Dakota Today. We are live in Bemidji on a beautiful day for fishing on the lake. And I'm so excited that we have Dick Beardsley with us today. Dick Beardsley of the fishing guide. I was like, Dick Beardsley, like the runner, you know?
Runner and the fishing guide.
Runner and a fishing guide. Yeah, man, you do it all. So great to have you with us today.
Thank you, Lisa. Great to be here with you. And thanks for coming to Bemidji on, like you said, a gorgeous morning. And how about that backdrop with Paul and Babe, huh?
Paul and Babe, and I know
Lake Bemidji out here.
I would say right away I was like drawn to the water. It is just absolutely gorgeous here. And I actually heard when you drove up, they said, well, he has a boat. Did you pull a boat?
Oh, I did. I've got a guide trip. As soon as we're done here, I got to go meet a gentleman, and we're heading out to the lake and do a little fishing for today. So
okay, well, yeah, we can't not talk about fishing when we're in Bemidji or in Minnesota. So, but first, can we just get it out of the way, because we're in a weird world right now with COVID and the pandemic, and how has that affected the guide service?
Well, in the beginning, when the fishing opener opened on May 9th, for the first 2 weeks, we weren't allowed to take anybody out. And then we could take people out, but only 2 people at a time. So that eliminated like a dad or a mom and a couple of kids. Well, they finally got rid of that. But now what I do, so I can have 2 or 3 people in my boat, but I don't, normally people will get in my truck and we go off to a lake, and we don't do that now. So they either meet me at a particular lake access or they follow me in their vehicle, so we're not in that enclosed environment. But other than that, I have been busier than busy. So it's turned into a really good summer for guiding, and the fishing's been pretty good too.
Well, okay. I was going to say, as far as social distancing goes, getting out on your boat and doing some fishing, that's social distancing.
It totally is. And I've got a 19-foot boat, so basically where I sit, where the next person sits, and the third person, we're about 6 feet apart. We're out in the fresh air, the wind's blowing, so I always ask people if they want me to wear a mask or if they'd like to wear one. I provide them, and nobody's taken me up on it yet. Haven't had any problems, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, it'd be okay if you had a tan line with a mask over there. It just meant that you spent some good time out on the water. So let's talk about fishing. And you said you've had some good fishing so far.
Yeah, the out here on Lake Bemidji, it's a really wonderful walleye fishery and some great perch, and there's some big muskies out in that lake. And the walleye bite typically was really good from the opener through about the first part of July, and then we had that real warm stretch of weather, and the water temperatures got up to 80, which if they even hit 80 during this summer, it'll happen like in August. Well, it happened July 1st, and that the walleye bite got a little bit tougher, especially during the midday, but that's starting to pick up again now on Lake Bemidji, and the water temperatures are now about mid-70s, but not only do we have Lake Bemidji, but we got 400 lakes within 25 miles of town. So if the walleyes aren't going on a particular like Lake Bemidji, there's probably another lake in the area that is. The bass fishing has been off the charts. And this time of the year with the warm water temperatures, the bass, their metabolism is going 100 miles an hour. And man, I had some folks out the last few days, we're averaging about 70 fish in a 6-hour trip. So that's pretty good catching, yeah.
Okay, so let's jump into why it is beneficial to have a guide then, because I feel like I could go out there and not see anything. The benefit of working with someone like you.
Well, and there's a number of wonderful guides here in the Bemidji area, and we all keep busy, and a lot of times we throw trips to each other. But the thing is, especially if you're on a vacation, staying at one of the local resorts, and you're on a particular lake, and it's like you might have a map of it, you don't really know where to go. And over the years, I've kept an extensive logbook every time I'm on the water, so you can kind of develop a pattern of certain lakes turn on this time, certain lakes turn on that time. And by having a guide, even for a half-day trip, familiarize yourself with a particular lake you might be staying on, and it makes all the difference in the world. The money spent is well spent, believe me.
And how about checking out a new lake? If you're in the Fargo-Moorhead area and you're just used to the lakes within, your short distance, it's nice to try something new.
It is. I love, like a lot of times if I get done with a guide trip, late morning or something, I'll jump on a lake I haven't been on for a while. And part of it is that I enjoy is trying to figure it out, if you haven't been on it for a while, or maybe it's a brand new lake. And there's something, magical about trying to figure them out and then actually catching some fish off of those lakes. And then that's a lake that I add to my list that I can take clients to. So it's a lot of fun doing that.
And I have just fallen in love with Bemidji this morning. Can you talk a little bit about your love of this area?
I'm not a native of Bemidji, wasn't born here, but I spent a lot of time as a kid growing up here. One of my dad's really good friends, a guy named Bernie Backman, was a fishing guide here, and he was kind of my mentor growing up. And my dad's favorite lake was Lake Bemidji, not because of the walleyes, but because of the jumbo perch. In fact, my dad would catch a walleye out here and get disgusted that it wasn't a jumbo perch. But Bemidji, I've always wanted to call Bemidji my home, and you can't find a better community. The people are wonderful. It's a progressive community. You know, we kind of are an island up here in northwest Minnesota. We're kind of the biggest community, and we draw in a lot of folks from areas, smaller towns. We got great hospital, great stores, and wonderful recreation, and you just can't find a better place to live than Bemidji. Don't tell anybody though.
Oh yeah, it's a secret. Well, no, nobody heard. And you mentioned this too, but whether it's mom and dad, the kids fishing, or you know, just grandpa out there by himself, fishing is for everyone.
It is, and the one real positive thing that's come out of this COVID thing is that it's given the opportunity for a lot of families to get out on the water. And fishing licenses in Minnesota, especially for younger people, has just gone through the roof this year. So that's a good thing. And you know, I'm seeing more people out there with moms, dads, the kids out there wetting the line, and hopefully these young kids, they'll keep this up for the rest of their life, because I don't enjoy anything more than when I'm out in my boat, even more than running, to be honest with you.
And you're still holding on to those memories of fishing with your dad.
Absolutely.
So we just keep passing that down, the tradition of spending time on the lake fishing with your kids.
Always have great memories.
Dick Beardsley, so great to visit
Thanks,
with you.
Lisa,
and
you too.
Happy fishing.
You betcha, thanks.
We are live in Bemidji. You're watching North Dakota Today. Coming up next, we're talking about parks and recreation. Oh, we've just barely hardly touched all the activities you can do here in Bemidji.